Welcome once again to Timeless Reality. I am Amuche Okoro, and today we dive into a subject that defines the strength of any community, any career, and any nation. And what is that subject? Mentorship and legacy. I ask, what happens when the wise stop guiding? What becomes of a generation that refuses to learn? Let's talk about the lost path to greatness. There is a path to greatness that isn't taught in most schools. It is a quiet path shaped by humility, experience, and the generosity of those who have walked ahead of us. That path is called mentorship. And when it is walked with purpose, it births something enduring. It births legacy. Today, I want to take you on a deep journey into the power of mentorship and legacy. Not just as a concept, but as a practical life-changing force that can rebuild lives, restore industries, and rescue failing nations. Let's begin from home. From a practice rooted deep in the culture of the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria, a practice called Igba Boy. Yes, Igba Boy, the time-tested school of millionaires. That's the way I describe it. In this apprentice system, popularly known as Igba Boy, a young man, usually between the ages of 12 and 20, is entrusted to a master, an established trader or a businessman. He works under him for about 4 to 7 years, learning, serving, and absorbing real-life business knowledge. This is not a job. It is a lifestyle of discipline, humility, obedience, and skill acquisition. At the end of the term, the master settles the apprentice financially and materially and empowers him to start his own business. And you see, what's the result of this process? The result is thousands and millions of self-made millionaires. Many of today's big markets in Nigeria, from Alaba to Ariaria, to Ladipo, Trade Fair Market, Aspanda, to Onitsha Head Bridge, Onitsha Main Market, Sabongeri Market in Kano, just to mention a few. They were all built by men who passed through Igba Boy. And here is the lesson. No one truly rises alone. Legacy begins when one man chooses to lift another man. I think John Maxwell mentioned it, just the way I said it now. Let us look at the decline of mentorship in today's society. But sadly, this powerful tradition is fading. Today's generation of young people want to blow overnight. No process, no patience, no apprenticeship, no mentorship, just vibes and fast success. And I ask you again, what's the results? The results are half-baked entrepreneurs, unstable professionals, crashed businesses, and a society full of frustration, greed, and shortcuts. Let us look at the rise of selfish mentors. Yes, even among those who should guide, many have failed. Some keep secrets from those following them, not because the learners are not ready, but because the leaders are insecure. Some mentor with pride, others with deception. They don't teach the full picture, just what suits their ego. They have no ethics, no conscience, no hearts. They model dishonesty, political manipulation, moral compromise, and still call themselves mentors. And what's the worst? Many of today's so-called mentors are not even ready to pass down the light they carry. They hoard knowledge, suppress rising stars, and see proteges as competition instead of successors. And I ask, where is the conscience? Where is the wisdom? But what kind of legacy are we leaving? What kind of generation are we raising? As Jim Rohn said, if you want to have more, you must become more. Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become. End of quotes. I would like us to look at this discussion from the perspective of the natural law. I want you to know that nature doesn't skip processes. A seed must grow through darkness before sprouting. The sun doesn't rise at once. It breaks the night slowly. This is the law of gradual unfolding. Mentorship aligns with this law. It teaches you the seasons of sowing, pruning, waiting, and harvesting. Skipping this process is like forcing a mango fruit to ripen with heat. It will look good outside, but not inside. I want us to look at the cost of missing mentorship. Yes, you cannot give leadership to someone who haven't lived life enough to understand the people they are leading. It is not possible. You make mistake. Imagine someone born and raised in an urban mansion suddenly placed in charge of rural development. What do they know of fetching water from a stream, of farming under the sun? And this is mostly how policies fail. Because when experience is ignored, ignorance becomes the leader. And this is why across all sectors, from politics, education, healthcare, business, and others, we are seeing the effects of nepotism and favoritism, where positions are handed to those with connections and not competence. The most important part of this discussion, I want us to look at the practical solutions. What can we do? I take it one after the other. Number one, revive structured mentorship programs. Communities, religious organizations, businesses, and even government institutions should create structured systems where experienced individuals guide others, not based on favoritism, but on competence and passion. Number two, encourage apprenticeship as a national policy. Let the Igba Boy system be documented, refined, and promoted nationwide. Government and private sectors can support such frameworks for skill-based professions. Yes, it is possible. 3. Reorient the youth. Use platforms like this, Timeless Reality, to constantly speak truth and values into the younger generation, as we teach them that greatness is a journey, not a jackpot. Number 4, hold mentors accountable. Mentorship is sacred. Anyone who accepts the role must do so with integrity. There must be public expectations and moral responsibility tied to mentoring. Number 5, document and share knowledge. If you have wisdom, don't die with it. Share it. Write, speak, teach. Your story could become someone's survival guide. To every young person out there, I say to you with a sincere passion in me, don't despise the days of your small beginnings. Seek out the wise. Sit at their feet. Learn. Ask questions. Serve. Let your hunger for greatness be matched by your humility to grow. And to every other and experienced professionals out there, I also say to you, don't let your light die with you. Pass it on. Be intentional. Build people. Create legacies, not just wealth. Because at the end of the day, legacy is not what we leave for people. It is what we live in them. Until next time, live in truth, walk in light, and let your life be a timeless message to the world.